Hi, guys. Welcome. We are talking about how to stop obsessing over your ex's new relationship. Oh my goodness. Why on earth would you torture yourself about this, darling? Really, just why? Why? We'll talk about why you do this and what you can actually do to stop doing this, because at the end of the day, it's self torture. And really, there are some things that you're doing that are breaking some things within you that will stop any love from actually being able to come in. So, we're going to talk about what is that thing that you are breaking that will prevent any type of love from coming in. Listen, I get it. When you've been through a heartbreak, I've been through them. You've obviously been through one. You know people who've been through breakups. It's hard. It's not easy. It's hurtful. You have those emotional attachments of the good memories, the past, what they did right, and you also have the pain of what they did wrong. So, why are you obsessing over their relationship? I'll tell you why. Because somewhere in your heart, you believe that you're not as good as this new person that they have in their life. Here's the thing, you have to ask yourself why. Why did we break up? Why did we break up? What was that all about? Why did we go through this? And really seriously write down every single thing that was wrong about your relationship. Write it all down. What were the reasons why you guys decided to break up? Go through and write everything down. And then once you get clear on that, sometimes it's because the relationship was just toxic and you needed to get out. Here's the thing. If the relationship was toxic, let's say the person was, they were a narcissist, or they talked down to you, or they didn't make time for you, they will eventually show up the same way for that other person, unless that person doesn't have good boundaries and they just allow them to be treated poorly. There are some people, it's just, they don't have any respect. So they're just going to let that person just kind of walk all over them. And they're okay with that. But you need to get clear for yourself of why the relationship ended. Now, if it were something that you were at fault with, then get honest about where you went wrong. Because at the end of the day, we never, ever, 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 ever have the control. We never have the power to change another human being. All we can do is change ourselves. It's really that is the only person that you have control over, is yourself. And that is something to be excited about, because you can do something about you. Can't do anything about them, but you can do something about you. But listen, I get it. If you are in a situation where you're having a really rough time coming out of this breakup, be sure to reach out to me for some coaching. I've got my coaching link right there. I typically don't promote that link very often. So I know that when it comes to breakups, listen, this is not something that is always something that you can just wake up and do differently. That sometimes you need help. You need someone to hold you by the hand and go, okay, we are going to get through this together. We are going to walk through this together. You are going to have support. So if you need that, please be sure to check out my coaching. I would be happy to support you on that journey. So here's the thing. It's a reckoning of ourselves, of understanding like where we were responsible for the breakup and where the other person, where their responsibilities. Typically it's always going to be two people. It's not going to be just one person. It's always going to be two people who have done something in the relationship, which is why it fell apart. You can never say, I did everything and this person just, they never showed up, they never did anything. Even in that, there's something. If they never showed up, then you tolerated it and you had weak boundaries in the relationship and you chose to stay in something that you put up with far too long and now it's hurt you. And now, most of the time, we're trying to fight so hard to redeem the time that we lost. And somehow in our minds, we think, well, if I just keep replaying it, somehow I'll find out where I was right. I'll get the solutions. And sometimes replaying it over and over is just self torture. It's just self torture. So the reality is that just because someone gets in a new relationship doesn't mean that they're going to be a new person. This same person is they're still going to be the same person in the next relationship. Now, that next partner may have a tolerance for that. They may have they may like that they are a bit detached and not as intimate, not as outspoken from the heart. They may like that. That may work for them, but that doesn't work for you. Or they may be a narcissist and they're like, that new relationship be like, well, you know what? They give me a great lifestyle. So I'll put up with their narcissism for the lifestyle that I get. Or, they may have, like, if they were degrading to you and they meet up with someone and maybe that person has low self-worth. So they don't care that they talk down to that person. They just care that someone is there and they just need a body next to them to say, hey, I have a person. But you have to ask yourself, like, what are your values? What are the things that are important to you? And where did that relationship not give you those things? And to quit fighting it, to quit saying, like, we could just go back to the past. It's the past and you have no control over it. Say it with me. I have no control over it because you don't. But what you do have control over is yourself. Now, when you keep going back and obsessing over their relationship, you're like looking at their social media, you have your friends stalking the new person's social media. Maybe you're even going as far as hanging out at the places that you know they're going to be. When you go there, all you're doing is you're hurting yourself. And you do it because you think you're going to find answers, but you're not going to find answers there. There's no answers to be had. The answer is healing you and creating a new future, creating a new life, not hanging on to them, but letting them go. Please let me know if this is resonating with you guys. Hey, Ninja Wolf, I'm so glad to have you here, darling. Ninja Wolf says, Arica, you're not a dating coach expert. You're a dating coach professional, and that person is you. I love it. I love it, Ninja Wolf. Thank you for the rose, Yo Williams. Hi, Tyler. So glad to have you here. Yo Williams, you guys split it over differences. I'm curious what the differences were. Jason says, hey, Arica, how are you today? I am about to get packing. I'm going to go off to another country tomorrow to visit some girlfriends from that I know from Bali. So it'll be exciting to have a girl reunion. You can follow my adventures. You can see what country I'm going to if you follow my Instagram. It's The Arica Angelo. Obviously, Erica is with an A, not an E. But yeah, if you follow my Instagram, you'll see what country I'm going to tomorrow. Jason says, I have been working on myself lately and still saying hi to women out there. Yeah, so you're exercising that courage muscle. I dig it. Yo, Williams, I wonder what the wow part is for. You'll have to tell me. Boss Big Mike, hey, glad you're here, darling. Ransom McKissick, buenos dias, mis amigos. We're glad to have you here. Androslav Vita says, many women start a new relationship like the one with you, man, by pretending and acting. It's true. I think sometimes when we leave one relationship and we get into the next one, we think it's going to be better, right? I think people do this. It's just like, oh, that last person was so messed up. And so if I just find the right person, then I won't have these issues. And I have this saying that I don't believe I made up. I could have gotten it from somewhere. So I'm not going to say that I made it up. So I don't know where I got it from, but I say this thing to myself whenever we catch ourselves blaming people or saying that person was just a piece of crap. The saying goes, everywhere I go, there I am. So you can go to the next relationship, but at the end of the day, you're still you and you're still going to be there. And so the job is to look at you, to work on you. Penguin, we have to accept the things that are not fixable. Loneliness is bad. Living in suffering and trying is worse. It's true. And the loneliness, even in that, I think sometimes we forget that we can find joy in loneliness. That being alone sometimes can be a really beautiful thing, because most of the time we have needs that we're not paying attention to because we never give ourselves the space to just be alone. And when we're alone, we can go, what is it that I really need? And when you can get those answers, then you can serve yourself in a way that you don't have to keep repeating the same mistakes in every relationship. Thank you for the heart, Ransom. Jason says, I pray that you have a blessed and safe journey on your trip and have lots of fun. I'm definitely going to have lots of fun. These are some really good, close girlfriends of mine. They're like sisters, and we just always have a blast. So I'm so excited to do this. Alan Ross says, hey, Lady Arica Angelo, you're looking amazing. Amaze us. Thank you for that. Oh, Yo Williams, you, of course, my dear, are the wow factor. Thank you, guys. So what is the biggest thing that you break that then stops you from getting any love into your life when you keep looking backwards, when you keep obsessing over your last relationship and obsessing over their now new relationship? What is the thing that you are breaking? You are breaking your boundary with yourself. Say it with me. I am breaking my boundary with myself. Because what you're doing is you're telling yourself, because here's the thing, anything we focus on and we put our attention on, that is where we place our value. Let's just get really clear about that. Whatever we focus on, whatever we spend our time thinking on, that is where we place our value. So this is why you're breaking your boundary with yourself. Because essentially, we know that to bring love in, we have to also love ourselves, right? And so when we love ourselves, what do? We value ourselves. When we focus on our past relationship or their new relationship, which is still essentially focusing on the past, what we are doing is saying that we are spending all that time there and we're not spending time here in the present with ourselves. And so when we say, I'm not valuable, because if I were valuable, I would be spending time with me, with myself. But instead, I am focusing all of my value, my attention, my time, my resources, my energy on my past. And that has more value than me. And so, it's like, and then we want to get mad at our ex, like what they did wrong, but not realizing like we're abandoning ourselves in the process. We are betraying ourselves in the process by not spending time here, by not getting present with ourselves. Because if we're present with ourselves, then we're in the present moment. We're not allowing ourselves to be distracted by the past. We're focused on what's going on in the here, now, present. Does that make sense? So, one thing that you can do to support yourself, and that is, this is going to be really good. This is your boundary for yourself. Are you ready? Ready for this? This is a great boundary. And I want someone to type this out in the chat because this is good. When you focus on your ex and their new relationship and your mind starts going there, say this to yourself out loud. I am choosing my ex. I am valuing my ex over myself right now. And that will really just, boom, bring you into the present. That's your boundary. I am valuing my ex more than I am valuing myself right now. And that is some real clarity because it goes, oh, wait, where am I putting my focus? And when you say it out loud, it creates accountability. So the mind just can't keep spinning and spinning and spinning. But when you speak it out, it's like, whoa, it stops the chatter and it goes, this is what's going on. So then you go, how do I come back to myself? And, I think when you've gone through a breakup, sometimes it's just being around the people who love you. Sometimes we just got to get filled back up. I definitely am all about introspection, definitely into like meditation, peace. I have my free meditation on my website that you can go get. It's right at the top. I'm for all those things. But when there's a void of love, when we feel like we've lost love and we're having a hard time coming back to ourselves, because essentially, if you're focused on their new relationship, you're having a hard time coming back to you. So when you say, I am going to choose myself, sometimes that's just taking the time to put yourself around the people who love you. And so I just want to remind you of this, that if you've gone through a breakup, that you are valuable, that you matter, that there is significance on your life, that you, my dear, are worthy of love. You're worthy of love. I know it may feel hurtful. I know you may feel sad. You may feel like there's just no hope. This is never going to change. The truth is the more honest you get with yourself about you, your shortcomings, where you're not valuing yourself, where you're breaking boundaries with yourself, the more you get honest there, the quicker you position yourself to be ready for the love that you desire to receive. I hope that's helpful for someone. Jason says we have to let go of our past gracefully, let it go, keep flowing out of our lives, and start the new chapter in our lives and relationship. Well said. Guys, I love you so much. I know that breakups are not fun. And I know that sometimes, we think that the grass is greener on the other side. But at the end of the day, what is the saying? The grass is green where you water it. And I would really encourage you to come back to yourself, water yourself, nurture yourself, come back to you. It's the most important thing you can do. Guys, I love you so much. Thank you for being here for a part of this live. We do have a new video coming out tomorrow, so I'm very excited. Make sure that you guys watch that. And all of you guys who sent in the coaching applications, thank you so much for submitting those. It's been wonderful getting to know you guys. It's so different seeing you guys in the chat, but then seeing your faces, hearing your stories, it's just been very touching to me. So I've very much been enjoying these interviews that I've been doing with you guys with the coaching application that most of you submitted. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, this is why you got to come back to all these lives, because every now and then I just throw out a surprise for you guys. And if you're not on my emails, if you haven't got my connection meditation, or if you're not a part of these lives, then you never know about it. So make sure that you're part of that. Matt, I can't wait to talk to you in 7 days. I'm so excited. Um, Oga Bidu says, why does it hurt so much after breakups? Because it is a breaking. It is a breaking in our hearts. And we can feel that on a physical level. And sometimes we just have to sit in the discomfort, not run from the pain, but just sit with it. And as we sit with it, we allow whatever needs to come up to come to the surface. And when it does, be patient, be gracious, be loving towards it. Jason, I'm so glad to hear you say that. He says, I do believe you when you say I deserve love. I love that. I absolutely love that. Guys, I love, and Ransom, I will end with your comment, and that's true. He says, nobody wants to be rejected. I believe that. I believe that we are made from source, made from love, and that when we get rejected, it's like poison to our system. I don't believe that we were ever meant to experience rejection. Hey, Sean, I'm so glad you're here. What's for dinner today? That's a great question. I'm definitely thinking about making some tacos. Every time I come and I move back to Europe, the first thing I start missing is good Mexican food. That's like I would say probably that good Mexican food and good sushi become very hard for me to find. Penguin says, at an end is a beginning. Seize the opportunity to live. I love that. Guys, mac and cheese for you. I love that. I am in France. I am in the south of France. Ransom. Guys, I really love you all. I'm just so grateful for your presence. It really means a lot to have you here, to have you in the chat. It's just phenomenal. I get as much out of it as you guys just having your presence here. Don't forget, if you are going through that, there's my coaching link in the chat. For whatever reason, it won't let me pin it. Let me just post it again. Right there in the chat box for you. Make sure that you also get that connection meditation. I think that will really help you out. I know there's not a heat wave anymore. I have written books in the past. I am overly due to write another book. I am overly due. I wish I were in the process of writing one. I really should be writing one. What is my ethnicity? Oh, thank you, Alan. My dad is Czechoslovakian and French, and my mother is Mexicana and Spanish. So we're from Barcelona, Spain, and yeah, so I've got a wild mixture there. So thank you guys for being here. I love you, and can't wait to see you in my next live on next Monday. But make sure that you go and you watch that new video coming out tomorrow. All right, guys, I love you so much. You take care. Bye.